Hello everyone, I'm TG. Today we're going to talk about the world's largest fast food chain, McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm sure almost no one has missed out on it. I really enjoy eating at McDonald's, and I always go to try their new items when they come out. Did you know that McDonald's is currently the largest fast food chain in the world? According to statistics from 2021, McDonald's has over 40,000 locations and serves 69 million customers every day. Today, McDonald's can be found in almost every country around the globe, meaning that you might even see a McDonald's if you travel to Africa. The headquarters of McDonald's is located in Chicago, USA, where there is a McDonald's museum. However, according to McDonald's, this museum was not set up by the McDonald's headquarters itself, but was established privately by someone. The founders of McDonald's are the McDonald brothers. The older brother, Richard McDonald, was born in 1902, and the younger brother, Maurice McDonald, was born in 1909, making them 7 years apart. In 1930, the McDonald brothers moved their whole family to California. Initially, they worked as movers and laborers at a film studio. In 1937, the McDonald brothers' father opened a restaurant, and the McDonald brothers helped him run it. After about 3 years of operation, they noticed that hamburgers were selling exceptionally well. So in 1940, they opened a hamburger restaurant in San Bernardino, California, and named it McDonald's. This was the first McDonald's restaurant in the world. Since then, over 80 years have passed, and McDonald's has grown from a single restaurant into the McDonald's empire we know today. However, the first McDonald's restaurant is actually no longer connected to the McDonald's Corporation we know today. The original McDonald's restaurant closed down a long time ago. The McDonald's empire that we recognize today actually originated from a restaurant across the street from the original one. This could be considered a bit of McDonald's dark history. The initial McDonald's and the current McDonald's, aside from the name, no longer have any substantial connection. The current founder of McDonald's is Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc wasn't originally a wealthy person. In fact, he was less well off than the McDonald brothers, who already had their own restaurant at the time. Ray Kroc was a salesman, roughly the same age as the McDonald brothers. However, this salesman eventually bought out the rights to operate McDonald's and built the empire we know today. Ray Kroc's rise to success is quite an inspiring story. To understand how he achieved it, let's first look at what he was selling. In his early years, Kroc sold paper cups. However, during the Great Depression, paper cup sales dwindled, and he lost his job. Since he played a few musical instruments, he started working as a musician in bars. As bar business also declined, he decided to return to sales, believing it suited him better. This time, Kroc was selling milkshake machines. These machines, which are now common in McDonald's, were designed to make milkshakes. At that time, milkshake sales were quite poor, and the machine Kroc was promoting was particularly unique. It had 5 nozzles, allowing it to make 5 milkshakes at once. With very few people ordering milkshakes at restaurants, it was hard to see why anyone would need a machine that could make 5 at a time. This made the milkshake machines particularly hard to sell. One day, Ray Kroc received an unexpected order for 8 of these 5-nozzle milkshake machines, indicating that the restaurant needed to make 40 milkshakes at once. This large order piqued Kroc's interest, so he drove to California to find out more. The restaurant placing the order was McDonald's. By the time Kroc visited McDonald's, it had been operating successfully for about 5 to 6 years. In the US at that time, making a profit from hamburgers was challenging due to intense competition. There were many hamburger joints, and hamburgers themselves were cheap, convenient, and tasty. Most customers were from the lower social strata, who appreciated the affordability, but often led to less pleasant dining environments. These restaurants could be unsanitary and attract unsavory characters who would linger, smoke, and order just enough to avoid hunger. To address these issues, the concept of drive-through service was developed. This allowed customers to buy food without having to deal with the unpleasant aspects of dining inside. Additionally, Americans had a strong preference for eating in their cars, which was facilitated by the growing car culture of the 1950s. During the post-World War II era, cars became increasingly popular in the US. Most households owned several cars, and it became common for people to spend a lot of time in them. The love for cars had roots in the war years when young Americans were trained to operate various vehicles. cars, tanks, planes, and ships. After the war, while many couldn't afford planes or ships, owning and driving a car became widespread. The war had effectively mechanized a generation of Americans, making car ownership and use a significant part of their lives. However, if everyone drove to get their hamburgers, it led to long wait times, often up to 30 minutes. This wasn't truly fast food. McDonald's became popular because they addressed this issue effectively. Firstly, McDonald's designed their restaurants to be transparent, with glass walls. This allowed customers to see inside the kitchen, making it look clean, sanitary, and spacious. The McDonald brothers also invested heavily in equipment and manpower, hiring more staff and purchasing more equipment. With these improvements and efficient layout, they were able to operate more quickly and effectively. This is why they needed 8 of those 5-nozzle milkshake machines. While other places required customers to wait 30 minutes for a burger, McDonald's offered immediate service. Even if it was a bit farther away, people preferred going to McDonald's because the wait time was significantly reduced. Shorter customer wait times also meant fewer issues like littering from cigarette butts, which had been a problem when customers had to wait outside. Another revolutionary change McDonald's introduced was the use of paper-based utensils. Before McDonald's, even fast food like hamburgers was served with knives, forks, and plates. The McDonald brothers saw this as costly and inefficient, so they switched to paper utensils and served burgers in paper bags. While this may seem standard now, it was groundbreaking at the time. Initially, many people were hesitant, but over time they realized that paper utensils were both practical and convenient. Of course, improving efficiency, upgrading utensils, and enhancing cleanliness were not enough on their own. The food needed to be tasty as well. McDonald's focused on making their fries exceptional. They recognized that competing on the taste of hamburgers alone was challenging, so they decided to make fries their standout product. While many believed that competition among burger joints was primarily about the burgers themselves, McDonald's demonstrated that excelling in side items could be just as effective. This approach aligns with a key business strategy. When you can't win by directly competing, differentiate yourself in other areas where you can excel. McDonald's innovations, such as improving efficiency and hygiene, hit the weak points of the fast food industry, leading to its early success. However, even with such success, at that time, there was only one McDonald's in the world. When Ray Kroc arrived at McDonald's, he was impressed by their efficient model and felt that the restaurant deserved to be more successful. He was puzzled as to why there was only one McDonald's and wanted to understand why it wasn't a chain. Kroc took the opportunity to invite the McDonald brothers out for a meal and asked them, "Your restaurant is doing so well, with so many customers and a huge demand for 40 milkshakes at a time. Haven't you thought about franchising and opening more locations?" The McDonald brothers sighed and explained that they had tried franchising several years earlier, but it had failed. They had once opened 7 franchise locations in California, but all of them closed down. The problem was that no matter how much they trained the franchisees, the hamburgers made at these locations never tasted the same as those made at their original restaurant. This inconsistency was due to the franchisees not following the exact proportions for making the hamburgers. As a result, the quality suffered, and the restaurants shut down. The McDonald brothers had concluded that franchising just didn't work. Ray Kroc, after hearing this, assured the McDonald brothers that he could handle the franchising and promised that all new franchise locations would produce the same quality and efficiency as their original restaurant. Although Kroc had no prior experience with hamburgers and wasn't directly involved in the business, his primary motivation was to sell more milkshake machines. Each McDonald's location required 8 of these machines, so if he could help McDonald's expand to 100 locations, he would sell 800 milkshake machines. Thus, he was an indirect beneficiary of the franchise expansion. Conversely, the McDonald brothers saw the benefit in having someone like Kroc handle the franchising, allowing them to focus on their own store while potentially earning more revenue from successful franchises. The partnership was mutually beneficial, and Kroc indeed lived up to his promise. He managed to successfully establish many new franchises, ensuring they maintained high standards for hygiene and efficiency. However, as time went on, problems arose. Kroc's primary goal was to sell more milkshake machines, and to do so, he needed to open more franchises. The McDonald brothers, on the other hand, were not as eager to expand rapidly and preferred a more gradual approach. Kroc's aggressive expansion, driven by his need to sell more machines, created tension between him and the McDonald brothers. Eventually, the conflict led Kroc to make a dramatic decision. He decided to buy McDonald's. In 1961, Kroc purchased the rights to the McDonald's name and all its franchise operations for $2.7 million. After acquiring the rights, he established McDonald's Corporation, the McDonald's we know today. So, while the McDonald brothers were the founders of the original McDonald's restaurant, Ray Kroc is credited as the founder of the McDonald's Corporation, having transformed it into the global fast food empire it is today. In the agreement between Ray Kroc and the McDonald brothers, not only did Kroc pay $2.7 million for the McDonald's name and franchise rights, but he also agreed that the McDonald brothers would receive 1% of McDonald's annual sales as a royalty fee. However, Kroc's actions after acquiring the rights drew significant criticism. He insisted that the original McDonald's restaurant could no longer use the McDonald's name and forced it to rebrand as Big M Hamburgers. Kroc then opened a new McDonald's restaurant directly across the street, which led to the closure of the original McDonald's. Consequently, the McDonald brothers faded from the public eye, and all McDonald's restaurants worldwide were now part of Kroc's chain. Some critics argue that Kroc's actions were harsh and suggest he might have tricked the McDonald brothers into relinquishing their business. However, Kroc had indeed paid a significant sum for the rights, and the McDonald brothers had, at that time, become millionaires. $2.7 million was a substantial amount in the early 1960s. Each brother received over $1 million, which was rare wealth in that era. So why did Kroc take such extreme measures against the McDonald brothers' original restaurant? According to Kroc's autobiography, after the agreement was made, the McDonald brothers reneged on their promise to relinquish the first restaurant. They wanted to keep it under their control, which was a breach of the contract, as Kroc had acquired all rights to the McDonald's name and business. In retaliation, Kroc not only rebranded their restaurant, but also opened a McDonald's directly opposite, ensuring the original restaurant's failure. Therefore, both parties had some degree of responsibility for the conflict. Kroc's relentless expansion turned McDonald's into the global empire it is today. Beyond its impact on the fast food industry, McDonald's has made other significant contributions. For instance, the idea of the Happy Meal, a meal that includes a toy, was not conceived by the McDonald brothers or Kroc, but was invented by a McDonald's distributor in Guatemala. This innovation not only boosted McDonald's sales, but also greatly increased the sales of children's toys. In recognition of this contribution to the global economy, the creator of the Happy Meal received the Forbes Excellence Award in 2018. Having discussed the history of McDonald's, let's now spend 5 minutes examining its profit model. McDonald's has a 4-layer profit model, with the 4th layer being the most impressive. First layer, operational income. This refers to earning a margin from selling products. For most business owners, food items like fried chicken and hamburgers are seen as the most important revenue source. However, these only account for 2% of McDonald's income. Moreover, to attract more franchisees, McDonald's gives almost all of this profit to them, essentially not making any money from it. This is what's known as selling without making money. Second layer, supply chain income. This layer makes up about 20% of McDonald's income. Since McDonald's gives away the operational income to franchisees, it attracts many of them. As a result, McDonald's has opened an astonishing 40,000 stores globally. This widespread presence gives McDonald's significant bargaining power. For example, if you want to be a chicken supplier for McDonald's, you must use McDonald's specified feed and chicks. Furthermore, even the feed and lighting for the chicks must be from designated brands. This means McDonald's holds absolute bargaining power. If the feed is sold for $180 per bag, McDonald's can charge $300. If a chick is sold for $3, McDonald's can charge $6. Suppliers may question why they must buy from McDonald's, but the answer is, if you don't, we won't cooperate. Your chicken does not meet McDonald's standards, lacks safety assurance, and does not match our taste, affecting our brand. Third layer, systemic income. This layer accounts for 30% of McDonald's income. McDonald's headquarters handles site selection, store design, equipment, operations, and employee recruitment. They also provide a mature operating and management system to franchisees. This is the future golden opportunity S2B2C model. S for Industry Empowerment Platform, B for Cooperative Merchants, and C for End Customers. Additionally, once a store starts to be profitable, McDonald's may sell it to franchisees based on its income share. For example, if a store is bought for $1 million and there are 10,000 such stores, that totals $10 billion. Fourth layer, financial income. Do you know who the biggest commercial real estate owner is? It's actually McDonald's. What does this mean? The land was initially vacant, but with McDonald's presence, it becomes valuable. Thus, low rent quickly rises. McDonald's has set up a real estate fund, buying or leasing premises for 20 years at low rates. Once the area becomes high traffic, they rent it out to franchisees, making a profit from the rent difference. Commercial real estate contributes 40% of McDonald's profit. This illustrates that others are earning money in ways you don't see. Many business owners still focus only on product margins, but I can clearly tell you that some are making money in ways you can't see. In business, apart from earning margins, there are many other ways to make money. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content. See you in the next video.